Welcome to today's 5 Good Minutes on the 10 Commandments. Today we'll be considering the 7th commandment with Kurt Bjorklund.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Straightforward words, and yet people do it all the time. King David in 2 Samuel 11 did one of the most well-known acts of adultery, where he hooked up with Bathsheba, Uriah's wife, and later sent Uriah to his death. Here's what we read at the beginning of 2 Samuel 11. It says, "In the spring of the year, the time when the kings go out to battle, David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. But David stayed at Jerusalem." It happened late one afternoon when David arose from his couch and was walking on the roof of the king's house that he saw from the roof a woman bathing. And the woman was very beautiful. And David sent and inquired about the woman. One said, "Is this not Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?" So David sent messengers and took her, and she came to him, and he lay with her. Now she had been purifying herself from her uncleanness. Then she returned to her house, and the woman conceived, and she sent and told David, "I am pregnant." I saw years ago somebody talk about this, and they said that this has the ease of an affair. And the idea was each of the words starts with an E. Starts with emotional readiness, verses 1 and 2, where David didn't go to battle with his men. And so he wasn't doing maybe what would normally be done, because it says in the spring when kings went out to do battle. Now, you could certainly argue that David had worked himself out of his job or didn't need to go. But because of it, he was laying around one late one afternoon, it says, and he arose from his couch. So David was lounging around, bored probably, and in a sense, there was a readiness, an emotional readiness because of it that allowed him to say, "Oh, look at this interesting thing." And one of the things that happens for many people before they head toward an affair is there's an openness, a willingness to consider something, often because of some pain or boredom in their lives. And then secondly, there's an encounter. And we see this, he was walking and he sees the woman and she is beautiful. And so at this moment, David has the temptation to say, I may want to go down this path. I may want to consider this. This is something that I'm interested in. And then there's the exhilaration. He sent to her and she came to him. And certainly there's debate among those who write books of the Bible about whether this was compelled or it was chosen by Bathsheba. But either way, David went from an emotional readiness to an encounter to an exhilaration. And one of the things we know about attraction, romance, sex, is that there's an exhilaration, and that led to the expression of this, where he went ahead and did what he did. And so my question today is, if you're married, are you in a state of emotional openness to meeting somebody? Have you already had an encounter with somebody that you're thinking about, considering, flirting with, enjoying the company of? Have you moved into the stage of exhilaration where there's a euphoria around it because you're thinking, this could really meet something inside of me? Or have you already taken the step? Well, biblically, you shall not commit adultery is a command that's for your good. And sometimes it's helpful to see the pathway that we can get on that can lead us into a place that we don't ultimately want to be.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out all our content and podcasts on Orchard Hill Plus. You can find that and so much more on our website or the Orchard Hill app.